Well, it's Sunday, it's 8 PM. Obviously, I'm here again. I hate not being able to watch it live. Anyway, hi guys, Heat C review. So, let's clear something up straight away. If you've watched a few of my videos, you'll know I'm very positive on Robot Wars, as in the way the reboot's made. And I get really annoyed when people like put a down on stuff for no reason. They're just like, oh, this is crap, this is crap. Especially when I say it's crap because it's not like the old one. That pisses me off. Having said all that, I'm really bored of the fog of war. Okay, I tried so hard to be positive about it. I tried to be like, oh, you know, maybe it'll come into effect later, blah, blah, blah. But especially this episode where it was twice in one battle, it's just so boring. It's so irritating. It's basically just like a pause. I can't really see how it's useful. All it does is kind of kill the pacing of some battles. Jonathan Pierce, bless him, tries to make it all exciting and be like, oh, what's going to happen? And it's like, nothing. The robots one's moved a bit. And like I say, I hate putting it down on stuff. But yeah, that one, I'm done with it now. But anyway, the robots. Traction was there. Really cool to see a school team in with a load of kids. Really cool to see them do well. I think it's a shame that they didn't actually really get a battle, if you see what I mean. The first one, they were out of the arena pretty instantly. The one against Rapid, same result. Apex, they put the wedge against it, but then obviously Apex exploded. We'll come on to that. And that was it. That was kind of done as well. So I'm glad they get the 10-way, they get onto the 10-way, and I hope they actually get a decent battle. Because I want to see, I want to see it grip. I want to see it crush. I think it just grips. But well done for them anyway for getting through to the 10-way. Then we have Bucky the robot. And it's cool to see both of this and Vulture actually new designs, like new experimental designs. They're probably not going to work, or maybe a certain aspect of them will, or whatever. Maybe they'll tweak the design or whatever. But it's good to see some new designs out there. And also kind of a jokey robot. Not quite sure what Dara O'Brien's beef was with the Captain Tom.
It's about putting on a show, isn't it? Tom from Bucky.
He seemed to sort of just be like, get you. Angela was clearly obsessed with them.
I love the look of Bucky. No! Come on, Bucky!
I guess they're allowed to show favoritism in the booths. I guess it's more genuine than sort of saying, decide with one or the other than sort of just being impartial. And although we didn't get to see them come into effect that well, because their wedge was kind of high and a lot of stuff got underneath them, they at least got that one decent bite on Vulture. So it's good to actually see the jaws clamp down and get the weapon working how it should. And I love the way when Rapid tried to flip it out, it just gripped, just bit onto the wall, like I'm not leaving, and then kind of like wiggled its way free. That was quite cool to see. Was it Bucky making that mad, like kind of squeaky noise?
Stuck by Grandma's bed. Norman's commitment to engineering. I can't see them, no self-righteous.
And it didn't seem to be in time with the actual jaws clamping or anything, so I couldn't really work out what it was. And then we move on to Rapid. It's a shame they went out early last year, but they have absolutely made up for it this year. I've seen a lot of just bullshit online, like, oh, he's paid loads of money to build a robot, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool to me. Like, I prefer someone to pay a load of money for, to enter a robot in Robot Wars than for, the usual crap that people do. That's really cool. And if I had all that money, hell yeah, I'd build a really awesome robot. I don't see how that's a negative. And for people who needed convincing, he needs to prove himself more or whatever, the way he drove in that battle against Terrorhurtz, repeatedly pushing it onto the floor flipper, using the hazards around the arena, was phenomenal. That's Terrorhurtz, that's John Reed, that's, a hell of an experienced driver. And yet, Rapid was just running rings around him. It was incredible to watch. To be honest, I thought the name Rapid was kind of crap. And then it goes and flips out something within, 5-6 seconds, whatever it was. And I'm like, it earned the name Rapid. I like that. And yeah, the team seemed really humble. The first thing they did when they beat Traction was instantly apologise to the kids. I thought that was quite sweet. So yeah, I really like Rapid, and I'm glad they've done really well. I look forward to seeing them in the finals. And then Vulture. It was a very cool looking robot. I know you shouldn't focus purely on aesthetics, but I like that people are still paying attention to aesthetics, if that makes sense. I'm not sure the weapon setup is that effective. I'm not sure if it works that well. But like I say, I really like seeing new experimental designs and stuff. So hopefully they'll come back again and they'll have some, that have learned something and come back with something cool. And then Terrorhurtz is back. And Christ, that axe just seems more and more terrifying every series. Some of the hits, especially on Paul Vulture, they were getting. There was this one bit where they were sort of, locking horns, and Vulture came in with their arm, and then it was almost like Terrorhurtz was saying, nah, bam, that's a freaking weapon. It was brutal the way it did it, just unrelenting. And of course, it's always great to see John Reed get
some good hits.
Yeah, good hits. And then finally we have Apex. Now Apex, I was really disappointed last series because they went out pretty damn quickly to Pulsar, and so I was really disappointed in the first fight when that massive, whatever the hell shape that's meant to be, spinning bar got stopped quite quickly. So in the second fight, when I saw it spinning up, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be, I don't want to see the poor school kids robots get destroyed, but you always want to see some destruction. Didn't expect it was going to come in that form, because Christ, that thing just took off. Both me and my wife are sitting on the sofa and just both went, fuck, like it was a dramatic moment. 39 kilos, that bar, that's psychotic. And the thing about the way that instant all played out really shows how I don't know, you have to have that balance between your robot, your drive, everything, and your weapon. Essentially, Apex, the actual robot, is just a set of wheels to move that massive weapon around. Not that anyone, they shouldn't try that. I'm really glad they tried that, and I although Craig Tamby said he wasn't going to try again, I really want them to try again, because if they can get that design right and it can give hits and actually not explode, that would be really cool. Interestingly as well, if that flying bar had hit dead metal, I'm intrigued to see what damage that would have done. If it could take out shatter a massive sheet of bulletproof glass, then what would it have done to poor dead metal's face? That would have been horrible to watch. As to Craig Danby getting a bit upset, it's easy to be like, oh, getting upset over his robot, but it's like he's gone out 3 times now quite early with really decent robots, just with bad luck, to be honest. It's what these people are passionate about, and it's in the heat of the moment, and every moment of theirs being filmed, he was probably chilled as anything, for 99% of the time, but they're going to put in the big bits to make it look more dramatic and blah blah blah. So yeah, I'm not going to take the piss out of that, because I probably react in a similar way, to be honest. So usually so far in every series there's been an episode which I've been kind of like, it's still alright, but it was a bit dull. But this series so far has not had one. I loved in the second group battle how everyone in the booth was clearly having such fun, especially when they all sort of smashed together in that big pile of robots. That was they were clearly all just sort of giggling about that, which was good. And it's good to see another awesome heat final. I didn't think Behemoth Apollo could be sort of topped or beaten or equalled, but this one was just as good as that. And we've got a hell of a final lineup so far, and a hell of a 10-way battle coming on. I think every video I'm going to say this is I can't wait for that. I can't even picture what that might look like. For next week's episode, I've actually booked I'm actually meant to be working, and I've booked it off. I had a bit of leave to use off at the end of the year, and this is one of the things I'm passionate about. One of the things, one of the few bits of TV only bits of TV I'd actually make a point of watching at the time it's broadcast. So yeah, I thought I'll book it off. So I can't wait for that. Thanks as always for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Sorry for the dot of negativity. I've never done it before. Yeah, see you next week. Cheerio. I just looked at a preview of the footage, and I do realise I'm blue. I'm doing a sort of early till quite late shift this week, so the sky outside is very blue and the inside lights are quite orange, so I apologise if you're just like, why the hell is his face suddenly blue? Didn't realise that was going to happen. Kind of unavoidable. Sorry about that. You probably don't care anyway.